My bit broke.
Alrighty guys, thank you for joining me again today in the workshop. My name's Hunter Wilkins, this is Father in Forge. Today I've got a pretty cool project I'm working on that I actually, I've already done quite a bit of it, but I didn't do any video on it because I was kind of working on some other projects that were my main video focuses. However, those of you that know me know that I had to get a new job. That's going really well actually, so you know, give me some good vibes for that. Keep me in your wishes. So that's going really well, so that's cool. But unfortunately, the schedule really limits my time for making knives. So I've had to jump on to a customer knife that I've been working on, like on and off and stuff, and had plenty of time to do it. Now I'm kind of on more of a time crunch for it, and I don't want to be rushing and make mistakes, so I'm focusing entirely on this knife. So this is the blade so far. This is heat treated, tempered. I polished it up, sanded it to 3000 grit, buffed it out, and then I did a mustard patina on it. So that's that. This is the handle block I'm going to use, a little bit of ironwood. It's going to be a hidden Tang, obviously. You might hear some noise in the background. It is pouring rain outside right now. My shed leaks as well, so we're going to jump into this and get going. So I've got a few things I need to work on today. So that's the plan. All right, so continuing on, we're going to try to touch this brass guard up a little bit. I'm just going to use my slack belt and try to take this down a little bit and see what we can do, okay? That's not plugged in. Cord's wet. I'm going to get electrocuted. If I can unbaconize this thing. Is that a word? I think that should be an official term in knife making. Gotta unbaconize the dough. Alright, I'm definitely going to have to hand sand to get some of these internal areas, so I'm going to grab some sandpaper real quick and we'll get back at it. Alright, here we go. Back in action. Alright, now this thing is like a brass mirror. Hey look, there's me. So that's what that'll look like on this knife. I think that looks really sexy. Okay, so now that I'm at a decent stopping point with that guard, I'm going to go ahead and mark out where my Tang is going to go. I want it up a little bit higher because I want to be able to curve the handle down and come to like maybe do some kind of point at the end. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do, but I don't want to go down here because that's going to limit how far down I can go on the block. So I'm going to go up here, but I'm going to leave a little bit of material up here so I have room to play with, and if I take too much off, it's not going to screw this block up entirely. So let's trace our Tang. Alright, so there you have it. That's basically where I'm going to drill my hole. Alright, now that we've got this far, I've got a cool trick to show you that I saw another knife maker do. I cannot for the life of me remember what his name is, so I apologize for that. If I find it again, I will I'll link it in the down below. But basically, get your press vise. Hopefully you have one. Bring your table all the way up, and then you want to angle your block so that you see how the drill bit is going down into the, following along the line of the Tang. So then you lock it in place. Actually it goes pretty deep, but that's okay. Then we bring it down. Okay, so the idea is, if I get this squared up properly, that when I drill down now, it's going to be drilling down at an angle along how my knife Tang actually angles. So that's the idea. My bit broke. So what you didn't see is that I screwed up 2 blocks. So I can probably salvage them for another project, but for this project, I'm moving on to block number 3. So what happened, it's actually been a week now since I started this. Since the last time that I cut off and broke my bit inside the thing, it's been a week. So that day I spent like maybe 2 hours or so trying to get the bits that were broken off out, and it was not fun. And I just got mad and quit for the day and just waited till today to start again. So this one, broke it off. I was like, oh crap, how am I gonna get that out? Tried to get it out, it didn't really work too well, so I moved on. I moved on to this block. Had this one going good. I had my second hole completely drilled all the way down. Went to back the bit out, and snapped off way down deep inside. So then it was an endeavor trying to drill it out, which cost me I think 2 to 3 more drill bits. I broke them in there too as well. I tried to burn it out, did not work at all. So ended up, I actually did get it deep enough to hold the knife, but if you look, my hole is way too close to the top, and that did not leave me enough material. Lesson learned, be more careful when drilling out ironwood. Alright, so I'm not going to go through this whole process again. It's going to be the same exact process. I'm just going to get it done and over with so that we can move on to the next phase. So here we go. Okay, so that worked a million times better, had no issue, and there's a couple reasons why. So the first time that I did it, I was using some bits that were not as high quality as these, which these aren't the best, but they're pretty good, and I'll show you them in a second. I don't normally like to plug brands if I'm not being sponsored or something, but I'm going to show you these because I really like these, and it's a good inexpensive option that's you can buy locally and it's not hard to find. So I am going to show this. But the other bits that I was using, they weren't as high quality, and I was going for a 1/8 bit, and 1/8 is just about the size of my Tang, maybe a little bit under, so then I would get a real tight fit, just kind of file it to finish and do it. Done it a lot, and it works fine, but for doing this ironwood, when I did it, it just overheated and snapped. Now I think part of the problem was cleaning the bit. If you noticed, I'm gonna put this in high speed, so you probably won't notice, but I stopped the drill every now and then after I was backing it out. I'd go down a little bit, back it out, and then I would take just this little fillet knife, and I would just kind of run it down the flutes of the bit, clean it out, because the ironwood seems to cake in there, and it's so dense that what I believe is happening, and I might not be correct, but what it seems like to me is that when you get this backup of wood dust, ironwood dust stuck in these flutes, it's basically spinning around at a high speed, right? So it's inside of another block of wood spinning against wood, generating heat. So just like primitive fire starting, doing a bow drill and stuff to start a fire, it's kind of the same concept. So I think that heat exchange from the wood in friction with the inside of the block causes the heat to rise too rapidly, and then the strength of the bit is shot, basically. So it just broke off. So I think that's what's happening. Now these bits, I literally this is a brand new bit, and one of the bits that I broke, and the other one was a brand new bit as well, but so you can kind of see the difference. So this is a brand new bit, but these are Milwaukee brand red helix titanium bits. And I'm not like a super big fan of titanium, but these work through metal, wood, PVC, whatever. They've got a little bit of different geometry on their tips, so that might help a little bit. But when I went in, it went in like butter, so I like that. There was no resistance whatsoever, and it was much easier to clean out as well. These flutes are a little bit differently designed, so I like them. I like those. Not too expensive. I think it was like, I think they were like $4 and change a bit. So I got 3 of them because I'm gonna need them. So the other difference is these are bigger than 1/8, of course. These are 1/4 inch, so that's double the size of what I was using. And this has its benefits and downsides as well. The downside being is you end up with a slightly bigger hole in your block, so you have to do a little bit more to get the nice tight fit up, but that's actually not too bad. And you can see it's going to take me much less time to shape this to the fit of the knife, so I'm actually not that concerned about that. And what I'm going to do is bed the Tang, so then I don't have to worry about any of that excess space in the hole at all. When you bed the Tang, you basically fill it with epoxy. You set it up so that you can still pull the blade back out after it's set. So you end up with this little pocket of epoxy down in the handle that acts as like a sleeve for the Tang and just gives it a nice perfect tight fit inside the hole. So that's what we're gonna do. But first we're gonna do some shaping on this just to get the knife fit in there better. I'm not gonna record all that. We'll just go through it, and then I'm gonna burn the Tang in. And once I get to that point, we'll start drawing out our handle shape, profile it, and then maybe pin today, I don't know. All right, now we're gonna do our burn in, and just gonna use this setup right here. Hopefully I'll be able to do it with me filming. It's kind of awkward trying to film everything when you do it. So I want to point out real quick that this does not have to be super hot. It does not have to be like glowing orange hot to do this. And in fact, I've heard that a lower temperature actually works a little bit better. So we want to get it just in kind of the red colors. You also, this is a heat treated blade, so I don't want heat in this Tang tip to travel up into my blade area and ruin my my heat treat and temper. So that's not what I want at all. So we want to keep this temperature fairly moderated. You can also do this in like a glass of water. Put the blade in a glass of water and do stuff like this. But it's not necessary for this application. There's not going to be enough heat to travel up into the blade area. So like I said, we're just going for a real mild heat. That might even be enough. Let's try it out. We are pretty close. Maybe one more time. As time passes, the heat from this little tip can actually travel up further. So the heat, wants to even out across the blade. So you just have to be careful. I really don't think there was any danger of anything happening there. I just for my peace of mind, just cooled the whole thing off. I also, a little tip that I learned recently, is put baking soda in your water. So if you have to cool something down, or if you're need lubricant for like wet sanding and stuff, put some baking soda in a spray bottle with water. That's what this is. I use this when I'm hand sanding. Baking soda neutralizes the water and you won't get like flash oxidation. One more little pass and it'll be good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of draw the profile that I want. And it's kind of funny because this is kind of angling up a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. So the bottom of this Tang might actually be a little bit lower, somewhere down in here. So I'm going to try to account for that. Let's just do... So that's kind of what I'm going for. That'll get adjusted just a little bit, but it can be a little bit more. Let's be more of a curve. If I hit that Tang, I'm never going to forgive myself, but I don't think it's that low. So it should be, something a little like that. Got pretty good 36 grit on here. We're just going to go at this thing, try it out. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this one up for today. That's where we're at. I think it's looking pretty good. I did have one complication, well actually two complications when I was doing this, and you didn't see it because I didn't do it on camera, but my solder between these two pieces of brass actually came undone. Ooh. So the solder came undone. But that's okay actually, because I did not like how the line looked between the two pieces. You could see the like a line of solder there, and I didn't like that. So I'm actually happy about that, because I was gonna do some pins in it anyway. So basically there'll be a pin that runs down through this middle piece into the block, and it'll actually partially go into the top piece. So have a mechanical lock. So I'm gonna do that. That'll probably be in the next video. As I said, I'm gonna wrap this up for right now. So we still gotta bring these down to meet up with the brass. But overall, I think I'm happy with the shape. I think it was working fairly well. We'll get more to come on that. I'll finish this guy up and we'll get it to my customer. So I'm super happy that I was able to get that much done today, because last week that gave me so much trouble that I was ready to just throw the thing and be like, I can't make it. But I got it. So holes drilled. We'll do our Tang bedding maybe next week or sometime in the middle of the week, depending on how I feel after work. And we'll do our brass pins through the guard, do all that, and then we'll get this thing shaped up. It's going pretty good. All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. That means a lot to me. You can check me out on Patreon. You can check me out on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, you're missing out, because I'm constantly taking pictures of projects and stuff and throwing it on there. I haven't had as much time lately with my new job, but I'm still trying to do it, especially when I do get time to work on little things like this. So there'll be pictures of this going up on there, stuff like that. Also, if you're a blade maker, Instagram's a great place to get ideas and information, or if you're just starting out, get concepts of how to do things. I've joined the Florida Knife Makers group on there, and hands down, my skill has improved tenfold since I started just talking with them in real time and being able to ask questions and say, hey, how do you do that? So I wouldn't have been able to achieve this even without having that group behind me. So big shout out to them. And again, it's one of the things I like about Instagram, even though I'm not a big social media guy. But that's that. So once again, please like, subscribe, check me out on Patreon, check me out on Instagram, and I will see you guys in the next video.